like this, obviously, a person that is right here, he cannot tell you what's happening in the entire building. So that's a very interesting thing, and it's not one or two. All of them, with no exception, had no limitation. Once the soul came out of the body, the limitation that a person has while he's in a body disappeared. Here is some of the stories. I was up. I saw how they work on my body. They put the electric shock. I saw my body jumping as they putting the electric on my chest. And this moment, I fell right back into my body. That's one person. The second person says, she says, I knew I'm dying, but there's nothing I could do. Nobody heard me. I came out of my body. I have no doubt about it. I saw my body is laying on a surgery table. I heard the doctor giving up. I felt terrible because I didn't want to die. Another person, I was out of my body. I knew clearly I could either return into the body or not. All the deceased people were describing the dark tunnel that the soul entered while they came out of the body. They felt that they're flying in a very long and dark tunnel with huge noise ringing inside the ears. One person described, I felt I'm flying in a dark valley. The darkness was so strong I could not see anything, but it was a great feeling. It was feeling of peace and quiet and relaxation, no fear. I find myself inside a cave, inside a tunnel, with mutual circles, and I was flying inside those circles. Another person, I was out of my body. I felt terrible in the beginning. Then came the light, that huge light, that in the beginning was blurry, but later it became very shiny. It was such a huge light, nothing compared to any projector in this material world. Too much light, and I felt warm. And it did not disturb my vision. I was able to see at the same time what happened in the entire hospital, the doctor, the nurses, the surgery room. Another person, huge light, shiny, covering from all angles, spiritual feelings, love that I never felt in this life, connection, spiritual connection, feel of mercy to that light. When I was there with the light, I felt so great, I did not want to return. That light had a great personality, so warm and so good. I didn't want to leave it. Others highlight the feelings that there was a line. And you knew that once you cross that line, there is no return. As long as you did not cross that line, you still have a chance to return into the body. I saw the light suddenly, and it started to become stronger, but I wasn't blinded by the light. I felt that the light is asking me if I'm ready to die. I have a feeling like I'm speaking to a person, but it wasn't a person, it was the light that's speaking to me, communicating with me. I knew that the light knows that I wasn't ready to die. I had a feeling that I'm being in a test. I felt so great in confidence and love, it's very difficult to describe. All of them described that relatives and friends came to them to show them the way. Suddenly, their attention was turning into some of the people they knew that were communicating with them without words, and they're welcoming them. Those were people that I knew in my life, and they died. I saw my grandmother. I saw a girl that I knew from school. I recognized their face. I felt they're very close to me. They all were flying around me. They came to accept me. I saw my friends in my brain, not in a spiritual body, but not in a material body, in a spiritual image. All of them testified that they saw a movie from periods of their life, like I said before, snap one after the other. and they said that their ability to remember and to pay attention to all the picture was so huge, they were able to get a lot of information without forgetting anything. And they saw key points of their life. One guy described, this is what happened to him. He said, I was very embarrassed from a lot of the things I saw about myself. They showed me over there what's not correct. I thought to myself, I wish I would have not done those things. I wish I can return back to the world and correct them. Terrible disappointment that I did nothing in my life. I did not achieve anything. I did not know anything. I did not complete one good thing in my entire life. A car was coming from around the corner and flipped over. The tank gas exploded and I lost my conscience. Then I found myself in Beersheba hospital in Israel, which I never saw it before. But today I know everything about it. I know where the X-ray rooms, all the departments. I lost feelings about time and dimensions. I saw everything at the same time, like I'm in all over the hospital at the same time. I was laying on a bed, and right away I was in the emergency room and in the X-ray room, and then I paid attention that in the third floor of the building, I was looking at a tennis shoe that's standing by the window, and she described how the shoe looks. And then they go to the third floor to that room, and they open up the window, and they see there's a shoe over there. But remember, she's in the first floor in a hospital. Dr. Elizabeth Kovler-Ross writes, people who are missing parts of their body, such as no hands, no leg, described that when they died and they left their body, they were perfect again. They were complete. The missing leg or the missing hand were there. What is it like? I'll give you an explanation. This is what it says. You see, I have now two hands, right? You see the hands are moving. God forbid if a person lost his hand, so you only see one hand, and you see a shoulder, that's it. You don't really see an hand. But if you had spiritual eyes, you would really see that this person really have a hand, but it's not material. So that means that when a person used to have two hands and now he's holding his hands down and you chopped one of them off, the part of the soul that were inside that hand are still there, but you're not going to be able to feel it. You're going to go until tomorrow like this. You go on empty. Why? Because it's not material. But the people who died, they remember that they saw themselves complete. So that means handicaps that had no feet, no legs, they saw themselves complete standing with two legs. And this is the way they describe it. People who were blind from birth, remember, never saw colors in this life. They do not know what blue is, what red. A baby that is born blind, right? When he's 10 years old, you come and try to explain to him what blue is like. Are you able to tell him to describe blue? You can sit a million years and try to explain to him what blue looks like, and you won't be able to tell him. It's something, it's a spiritual feeling, whether either you saw it or you never saw it. There's no way to describe color to someone who doesn't know what colors are. Those blind from birth people, when they died and they came back to life, they describe what happened in a hospital in colors. So the question that we have right now here, it's unbelievable. First, we see that a blind person, the limitation is only in the eyes, where supposedly that's the screen, that's the camera, but inside they really see.